Welcome back to our computing lessons. In our previous lessons, we completed the basic 7 introduction to programming. So we are going to continue with basic 8 introduction to programming. So the basic 8 lesson has only one indicator, and which says we should describe the basic concepts in programming. And under that, we're supposed to look at constants, variables, expressions, statements or instructions, logical and arithmetic operators, operator precedence, etc. So after that, we will have to create a table to compare how the same arithmetic notations are represented in coding and in classroom mathematics. All right, so without wasting much time, let's get into our lesson. Great. So we begin with the basic concepts in programming. So the basic concept in programming. Programming is the foundation of modern technology, as we have already discussed in the basic 7 lessons. So one thing I like about the new curriculum is how progressive it is. So once you understand the basics that was treated in the basic 7 lessons, the basic 8 and the basic 9 becomes very easy for you to understand. Yes, so because of those lessons, these ones will be easy for us to grab and pick on. All right. So at the heart of programming lie a few key concepts that form the building blocks of any software system. This presentation will explore these fundamental ideas and provide a solid understanding. Great. So let's get into it. In our previous lessons in the basic 7, we covered constants and variables into details. So if you want more explanation on that, you have to go back to the previous lessons and then get the understanding from there. Constants, as we said, they are fixed values that don't change during a program execution. Right. Examples are constants in mathematics like the pi and then the rest. Great. And then variables are name storage locations that can hold different values during program execution. Their values can what? Change. So when you go to any website, let's say you go to any website that allows you to type in anything, like in this search bar, if I type in JavaScript, right, I'm able to type here because this is being stored in a variable, right? So variables allows us to store, it's a storage locations, yes, and their values can change. So somebody somewhere else will be using Google and maybe you'll be searching for Kwame Nkrumah and the rest. That's the beauty of variables. Great. So if you want more understanding of variables, you can check our previous lessons in the basic 7. Then we look at expressions and statements. So an expression is a combination of constants, variables, and operators that evaluate to a single value. For example, 2 plus 3 times 4. So that typically shows an expression. And we discuss expression 2 in lesson 1. Whenever we are able to declare a variable and give it a value, that is what we mean. All right, so let's quickly go into our JavaScript compiler and demonstrate a simple expression. Great, so we bring out our JavaScript online compiler, then we call out, we write a simple expression, variable name is equal to, since it's a string, we have to put it in quotes, coffee, then maybe variable sum is equal to 17. Great. So we've been able to, this is an expression, this is an expression. So maybe let's make it more interesting. 17 plus 5. Yes. So in our output, we'll do name is right. Then some years old. Great. So let's run this code and then we see, oh yeah, we have to put in um, spaces. Great. So very important. Yes. So you have to put another space in front here too. Great. So this expression, this is a simple expression we are using our code, and this is also a simple expression. And when we output the expression, we are getting Kofi is 22 years old. So that's how we use expressions in programming, right? So it's evaluate to a single value. The whole idea is to evaluate to a single value. So putting this together is to get just this single value we have here, which is what? 22. So writing this whole expression was to just get what? 22 in our code. Great. So statements or instructions, what are they? Complete unit of code that performs specific actions. Examples include assignment statements like x equals 5 or control flow statements like if, while. Yes, so we demonstrated if and else in our previous lessons. So if you want more understanding, please watch the previous video. And then assignments is also giving maybe a variable or a constant a name and assigning a value to it, like what we have done here. So they work hand in hand when we are doing coding, as well as the if else, which is used to show whatever you want a program to do when it checks the first one and it's not correct, like what we did in our previous lessons in the basic 8, sorry, the basic 7, right? So we move on to logical and arithmetic operators. This comes the interesting part. So logical and arithmetic operators, they are normally used for Boolean logic, right? So the common ones include the AND, which is the double ampersand sign, or which uses two bars, and then the NOT, which uses a single. So for the AND, what it means is that both declarations, right, in a code should be true. And for the OR, only one needs to be true. So what do we mean by that? So let's quickly demonstrate that here. So let's say we'll write a variable and assign it true, right? Then we write another variable b and we'll assign it false. Then write another variable c and we assign it true. Great. Now the idea is to work with the logical operators. So let's quickly call out maybe another variable and name it the AND operator. Great. AND operator. And then we are going to give it A and B. So we are going to output this code and check what we will receive. So console.log A and B. Sorry, we have to put it in quotes. Yes, because we want to get a result. Then we add the results of the AND operator. And let's see the answer we will get. So we are getting false. Yes. What it means is that we remember here we mentioned that in an AND operator, both declarations in the code should be true, right? But here is the case: A is true, B is what? False. So since both of them are not true, then our answer will be what? False. Yes. So let's play around with another operator and see. So variable or operator is equal to A. Wait, let me um, get the or operator. I think I'll get it from my on-screen keyboard. Good. So A or B, the or operator. So here too, we are going to output our code and let's see our results that we will get. A, B, A and or B, sorry, A or B. Great. Let's see so we'll call out this operator, this expression, and we'll run this one too, and we are getting what? True. Because here you mentioned that for the or we only need one to be true. So it doesn't matter whether the A is true and B is false. As long as A is true and B is false, one of them is true, then we are getting our true. But for the AND operator, both of them need to be true to get the right answer. So this is how we use logical operators in programming. And it's very useful and helpful in writing a lot of statements, especially during comparison in programming. Great. So that's it for the logical operators. Then we look at the arithmetic operators. These are used for mathematical calculations, including addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo. Great. So let's see how these operators work. Let's look at before. Let's look at how these operators work. Before that, let's discuss their operator precedence first. So operator precedence normally refers to which operation should we work on first before we move on to the next operation. So what we mean by that is if you have maybe 4 plus 3 plus 8 plus 9 times 2 minus 4, which one should we work first? Looking at the operator. So in programming, we use the operator precedence known as BEDMAS, and then the B is for the brackets. Operations inside brackets are performed first. Then E is for exponents. Exponents are also evaluated what? Next. Then division and multiplication follows. Then addition and subtraction also what? Follows. So that is how the operator. So that is how the operator precedence works. Great. And before we go into our demonstration, let's quickly look at how mathematics and coding differ in the way they show their arithmetic notations. For mass addition, we use plus. For coding, is the same plus sign, so we have nothing to lose. Subtraction uses the same symbol. Mass also uses the same symbol. Then here is where the changes come. For multiplication, mass uses a small x, but for coding, it uses the asterisk symbol. For division, we use the forward slash, but for mathematics, we use this symbol with the dots and the bar in the middle. For coding, we use two asterisks for exponents. Then for maths, especially using calculators, it uses what? The symbol which is going up. Then for mathematics to modulus, we use the symbol percentage for that. And then in maths, we just write the word what? Mod. So let's quickly look at how to use these operators in a simple program. So as for the addition, we have been able to use them. So we can do away with this. And then let's quickly do variable calc is equal to maybe 3 plus 4, right? Let's see if that will work. So we output this code console.log calc, console.log calc. Then we run this code, we get what? 7, because it's adding that for us. Okay, so let's quickly call out another variable and then name it the same variable calc. Then let's do this minus. Then we'll console, we'll bring it out, and then we are getting what? -1. And if you are wondering why calc is still being used here, is because we are declaring it as a variable, so we have nothing to lose here. If you want more understanding, please watch our previous videos on the basic 7 lessons. So I'll just copy this, it here again, and then do multiplication, run the code, and then we are getting what? 12. Great. So we'll realize that the multiplication, we use the asterisk symbol. So let's do exponent. Exponent is double asterisk. Let's run the code and see. We are getting 81 because 3 exponent 4 is the same as 3 exponent 4 is the same as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So we are actually multiplying 3 4 times. That's what we mean by 3 exponent 4, right? So when we run this code, we get our 81. Then let's check for what other operator is left. Great, modulo. So modulo 3, let's say 8, maybe 9, modulo 4. We run the code, we get 1. So what modulo really means is that we have to divide 9 by 4, and the remainder is what we get as a modulo. So when you divide 9 by 4, you realize that 4 will go into 9 2 times to get 8. There will be remaining with what? 1. Great. So if you do 10 modulo 4, what can you guess the answer we'll get? Yes, you're right. We'll get 2. So 4 will divide 10 2 times, which will give us 8 with a remainder of what? 2. So that is how modulo works. Great. So if you do 15 modulo 4, can you guess the answer? Yes, you are right. It's 3. Great. So with that, I hope our understanding of modulo has been captured. Okay. All right. So let's quickly look at our operator precedence and how it works in mathematics. Great. So we are first going to solve our own calculation using our normal writing, and then so let's calculate something like maybe 3 times 3 plus 2 minus 5. Okay, let's bring in a bracket. 8 plus something like 2. Great. So what they want us to do is that, looking at the operator precedence in the previous slide, great. So which is bed mass, bracket comes before exponents, before division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So here we perform the one in bracket first. So we leave all this out. In the next line, then we perform the 8 plus 2. So what do we get? We get 10. Great. Then we go on to the next operation. We still have a bracket here, so we have to solve this. So 5 into bracket 10, what do we get? 50. So we still leave all of that. Then we add this to our answer. Now there's no bracket, so our next is supposed to go to exponent. Do we have any exponent? No. We move on to the next one, which is division, bed mass. Do you have any division? No. So let me put the bed mass here for easy reference. Do you have any division? No. So we move on to multiplication. Do you have any multiplication? Yes, we have 3 times 3 here, which will give us 9. Then we continue with our plus 2 minus 50. Great. Then the next operator is addition. So we do 9 plus 2, which gives us 11 minus 50. Then we perform our last, which is 11 minus 50, which gives us minus 39. Great. Let's solve another one to get more understanding, which is, let's do 5 plus 4 squared, right? Yes, 5 plus 4 squared. Maybe let's divide by 2 minus 2 times 5. Great, let's do this one. So looking at the operator, we will jump bracket because there's no bracket here. Then we go to exponent. Great. So exponent, we have only 4, exponent 2. And please work on only that one, because that's how the computer works. So 5 plus, now you are come to do only this one. So 4 exponent 2, 4 times 4 gives us what? 16 divided by 2. Don't be tempted to do the others. Just work on the one you are supposed to work with. Okay. So now the next one is to do the division, which is this one. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. Great. So 5 plus 16 divided by 2, 8 minus 2 times 5. Great. Then the next one is work on the multiplication, which is 2 times 5. Sorry. So 5 plus 8 minus, so 2 times 5 is what? 5 times 2, we get 10. Great. The next is to work on addition, which is 5 plus 8. So 5 plus 8 gives us 13 minus 10. Then our answer becomes what? 3. So these 3 operations, let's check their answer online using a simple scientific calculator. Great. So a simple online scientific calculator. So let's check 3 times 3, 3 times 3 plus 2 minus 5, 2 minus 5, then into bracket 8 plus 2, bracket 8 plus 2. Great. So we get our answer to minus 39, exactly as we had here, meaning that that is how the computer programming uses its operator precedence using the bed mass. Great. Let's check the other one too, which says 5 plus 4 squared. Five plus 4 squared divided by 2, added by 2, minus 2 times 5. Great. So we get the answer to be 3, which makes our calculation here also correct. And that is how the operator precedence works in programming using the bird mass formula. So I guess that is what we are supposed to discuss. Oh, yes, then we quickly have to look at relational operators. I think we covered this in our previous lessons where we use the Boolean to check whether somebody's age is within the required age, somebody's age is greater than or less than, somebody's age is less than or equal to, and somebody's age is greater than or equal to. If you want more explanation on this, please watch our previous video. You get more clarification on that. Great. So with this covered, we have been able to complete the Basic 8 Introduction to Programming. Thank you. See you on our next lesson. Bye bye.